this session is a welcome next after the discussion on change, because in many ways technology has been at the forefront of all change. In fact, has been leading a lot of it as well. Our discussion today will center around three themes. One, of course, what we've experienced as far as technology is concerned as it relates to the subject of HR. Our second part of the conversation will be centered around what are the needs that we have as a business and what do they translate to as far as people are concerned. And the third, how are we going to get there? And if we knew the answer to the third question, we probably wouldn't be here. So with that, thank you once again to my panelists, and thank you for being here today. My question begins with you, Subrat. You've had a varied, rich experience with a variety of industries and companies. As you think about technology, what emotions come to your mind? What experiences come to your mind that you'd like to share with us today?
And great beginning. And from a capability perspective, reach is many times more. And if I just go back to my experience, when I started my career, it was a retail company with 1,200 retail outlets across the country, fortnightly payroll system. The manual papers will come from the shops to a regional center. You check it manually, process it, and the payroll still used to get to the people in time. But that whole experience of when the employee has a query and how do you resolve it, there was a multiple, it was a very long cycle.
Right.
And the opportunity to fix that was only when the next payroll happens and stuff like that. I think from a capability perspective, we are much better today in terms of access, reach to the people, diversified global workforce, and managing them in terms of reach. From a capability perspective also, as I said, the opportunities which are there in terms of technology being available is fabulous. The key is that how are you connecting it to your needs, and which is the later part of the discussion, which I thought is very relevant in there.
Vijay, you're probably the most qualified to be on this panel. Many of us have been invited, and we are thankful that we are here. You actually you lead the IT function at Hero as well as HR, and your primary association has been with the field of HR, with IT. So in that sense, we'd like your take on how IT has influenced and impacted the world of HR over the last decade or so.
Good afternoon, and thanks for inviting me, Nishchay. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. If I look at today's generation, if I look at today's people, I think the traditional way of working, which was maybe 5 years back or 7 years back, is not even relevant today. Okay, the way we were doing maybe performance appraisals you spoke about, many of the new generation people would not even like to write a page by hand. So they prefer everything to be done on laptop. So I think in today's context, technology is playing a major role. HR as a function over last few years has been one of those functions which actually was one of the maybe less adopter of technologies. So we always started with the purchasing function or
are we generally the slowest in the pack? Is that the reason, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's reality.
Just wanted to make sure.
No, that's reality. That's reality. But I think over the last couple of years, what has happened is that there's a huge progress from a technology perspective that has been made in HR field also. So there have been a lot of new softwares, applications which have come in, which have actually made the work of HR simplified, very, very simplified. And that's where technology today is playing a major role. To my mind, if any company thinks today that they can do without technology in HR, I think they'll be left behind. Because it's not just consolidation of data and all that, but it's also the speed which is expected. So just to give a very simple example, many of the companies would, or all the companies do induct people, and the first thing that you would need is to give an appointment letter. Okay, there could always be a mechanism where you could call somebody in HR department, he'll write something or take an old file, change the name of the person, maybe from Mr. to Miss, something, the mistake is made, and all those things do happen, and then goes in for signatures and takes its own time. How much time? Depends on the company. Few days to few weeks. But just to give an example from how technology is helping us out, The thing is very simple. Before the guy joins in, he puts in his details on a website. The day he comes in, one of our guys just checks all the documents. He clicks on our software. The moment he clicks over there, a workflow gets generated, which comes to, at this moment, I'm authorized to sign. So workflow comes onto my mobile. I just scan, what do I have to scan? I OK. A PDF file gets generated, which is given to that guy. So the entire cycle takes at the most 2 minutes. That's how, and there's no mistake, because that guy himself has entered. So I think technology is also the speed and the accuracy that technology brings to the table is playing a major role in the organization, and especially the new generation. I think people are becoming much more impatient these days. So no one would like to even wait for 4 hours or 6 hours to get an appointment letter, as simple as that. But maybe when we joined, I know that we got our appointment letter maybe 3 days later, and we were happy and showing to our mother and father that, okay, I got my appointment letter. So that's how technology is actually changing.
Amit, very interesting point Vijay raised. One in terms of efficiency. The other, of course, the trade-off is with the user experience. Now, when the efficiency is tailor-made to enhance user experience, of course, it works magic. I'm wondering, have you come across a trade-off where the organization, through technology, as far as the people interface is concerned, has become far more efficient, but the user experience has actually become worse?
I clearly feel personally that in the journey of HR, learning is one part of the HR function which is the early adopter of technology, which has actually taken a lead. From being nominated to a classroom and someone deciding for you what you would be taught, today you have a choice to read, podcast, do whatever, and you not only choose location, you choose what you learn, and you have a choice.
Absolutely. Right.
And the organizations have ridden that bandwagon pretty well, a lot of them, right?
True.
But if to the question again, then it has the other side of an e-learning platform. Very fancy to have an e-learning platform. Very fancy to launch it up, show man-hour saves, money saves. But the ultimate user experience, and whether it is tab-friendly, whether it is mobile-friendly, whether it is your desktop-friendly, is where the challenges come initially.
And it's lacking the personal touch.
It's lacking the personal touch. And today, so today if you're traveling in a metro and you have a smartphone, you want to do that learning there. But is it compatible? How many applications are mobile compatible in the organization ecosystem to be able to give you that experience, or tab compatible? That's where the mismatch happens, to your question.
Subrat, so you're in the trade. In fact, your business is impacted if you become far too efficient and the user experience diminishes, because people stop buying your goods and services in that situation. You currently manage A aspect of the business which is focused on learning and what Amit just described, and B, recruitment.
Yeah.
Now, how have you optimized this trade-off between the two in terms of efficiency and user experience?
So, I'll come to the first aspect of e-learning. When it comes to e-learning, the challenge is technology is always a double-edged sword, right? It has its own positives as well as negatives. On the plus side of it, if you look at it, the quality of content that is available, especially on the e-learning platform, where the faculty or resources are very, very limited.
Right.
It gives them the bandwidth to access quality education or quality learning and development that's happening. The flip side is that, as Amit was telling, the personal touch is always missing, right? So always platforms like us, what we are trying to do is to leverage the benefits of an e-learning, and probably minimizing the trade-off that happens when it comes to using technology, right? And the second, it's always understand the technology and don't use technology for the sake of it. So it is about understanding the benefits of a technology. It's fanciful to say, we have an LMS portal that we have and all the learning that happens over internet and all the stuff. But the challenge that lies in is embracing the technology and making sure that they deliver up to the expectations of the consumers, who are the employees, who are the target customers, because ultimately it is the learning that happens for them. As he said, you are in a metro traveling, so you have the smartphone which is available, but the point is your mind receptive to that learning? It's fanciful to say that we are available on mobile, on tablet, on computers and all that, but the point is, at the time that you are in, are you open to learning? Because it's all about receptiveness, right? So that's the challenge that all of us are grappling with. And I think it has to be a mix of both.